computer. Okay, so welcome to this session. It's really going to be exciting things that we're going to do. So just for those of you who've all been on Zooms, I know you've got Zoom etiquette, but just in case you forget something, please, if you're naked, not allowed to walk across your screen. I'm not going viral because of that, okay? I'm pretty sure we would go viral. It'd be pretty awesome, but no, that's not the reason why we're going to go viral, all right? So that's the first etiquette. The second one is, please keep your questions to the end. I'll be asking questions as I go through. And so please note down your questions. What I will do is once the session is finished and uploaded, I will send the recording to you as well as the PowerPoint. Okay, so you can have everything. So Percy, I just again want to say on behalf of everybody here, thank you so much for allowing us on behalf of Evolve to get involved, which is really awesome. So hence we are evolving, aren't we?
Thanks, Michelle. We wouldn't trust anyone else to do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Now, I love this space. Social media is my thing. I just love social media. I love automations. I love gaming. I love anything that's to do with technology. You won't believe it. And yeah, I'm 60 this year, but I'm like fired up with technology. For me, I should have been born for this era. Okay, but I'm obviously here to show all the young guys that old people can still do it. Okay, so that's why we're going to be going through this particular process. So let me share screen. I just want to say welcome to each and every one of you individually. Joy, thank you for being with us here. As I say, Doc Ant, thank you for being. Poncho, is it Poncho? Poncho. Thank you for being here as well. I really appreciate it. And Joyce Loy, very lovely to have you with us as well. Those that are on late, you catch up and we welcome you as we go through this. So let's get kicking in. When I train, there we go. Can you guys see the screen? Just give me a thumbs up if you're all happy with what you can see. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go through the information. As I said, I will email you the recording as well as the PowerPoint. So you're going to have both. Please feel free to use it afterwards. I'm not going to so just because Percy paid for it, just don't charge other people for it. All right, let's be fair to Percy. If you do, please speak commissions to Percy. All right, not to me. Okay. So as you can see, I've got the Evolve logo on. So this is owned by Evolve. It's all Evolve's context. So please don't resell. We're just going to ask you safely to that. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at how we can unlock the power of visual content, because that's very important to us, because if we don't unlock it, then our people are not going to find it. And that's what we need to have a look at. So the first session we are going to be looking at is the conceptualization and script writing. So I know, it sounds boring to start off with, but I have a golden rule in life. And that golden rule is that things don't end wrong. They start wrong. And if we always remember that in all interactions that we have with individuals, every time we participate with someone, if we're not transparent, we're not honest, we're not authentic, it's going to unfold somewhere along down the line. And that's what we need to continuously remember. And then after we've done that, in this session, we are going to make sure that from an objectives perspective, we're going to understand the importance of conceptualization of a video that aligns with your brand and your audience. So that is so important for us. It needs to align with your brand and with your audience. Now, also, we're going to learn the basics of script writing that's going to be tailor-made for your videos. So it's about the video as well as the video captions. It's very important for us to see that everything aligns. And when we do something on social media, we need to do it intentionally. So I love what John Maxwell says. It's the law of intentionality. It's about being intentional. So what am I being intentional about? Then session 2, we're going to look at the pre-production and your planning. Then 3, we're going to look at the filming techniques for social media. And 4, we're going to look at the editing and the post-production. Now, I know it's by the time we get halfway through this, you're going to say, thank goodness you packed it into 4 sessions and not 1. And so just a little bit of background about myself. I've been delving into social media content since around about 2016. All right. So I've done a lot of it. I've done online stores, I've done marketing. I'm actually a digital marketer, and I love this space because if you want to learn to promote your product, you need to know how social media works. And that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at how each of the different platforms will function according to what you need. Okay, so that is what we're going to be looking at. Again, we've got to ask ourselves the question, why video marketing? Why would you consider video marketing? Because it's so easy. We can post ads, we can post stills, but we don't always have a look at what is the impact of video marketing. And if you want to reach your audience, we need to really ensure that your video marketing, I mean, Percy does this so well with his videos. He engages with his audience all the time. And when you're engaging, you can bring your personality across. All right. And what happens is people start resonating with you as an individual. So that's why you would consider it. Okay. Higher attention. All right. Your conversion rates are higher than all other types of media. Now, if you think about it, you now go across to YouTube. YouTube just has a wealth of information there. People, I mean, okay, Percy's too young, Joy is too young, you're all too young, but Doc Ant's not. Okay, we used to have encyclopedias when we used to do our research. Do you remember? And those were the good old days. Now everything's at our fingertips. So people have split seconds to actually connect with you. So it's essential for comprehensive digital marketing strategies. So if you want to take this seriously, then I suggest you really do your homework in this area. And that's what we're going to look at today. So that's why you would consider your video marketing. Now, what you're going to learn today, which is quite exciting for me, is the significance of video marketing in social media. All right. The overview of the key platforms. I'm going to talk about each of the platforms. Most of us on this particular forum now work on LinkedIn, but I'm going to talk to you about LinkedIn, about Facebook, about YouTube, and why each one of them can be of an advantage to you. All right. The types of video content that engage your audience, because my type of things that would engage my audience would be very different to what Joy would be doing. Okay. And also to what Joyce is doing as well. Very different. All right. And our demographic may be female, but our audience within that category could be different. And that's the importance. Not everything resonates with everybody. And that's what we can't just think, oh, well, I'm talking to all women. Okay. There's demographics of women that would be, or all men, or whatever it might be that we're speaking to. All right. Like Percy, for example, speaks to the automotive industry. He's very specific where that's concerned. There's no confusion if somebody who's in manufacturing of plastic beads watches his video and says that, oh gosh, no, maybe I must, but there's one or two key words that will trigger them, like customer service, for example, like, a couple of other keywords that will draw that person in. All right. But it's not his target market. Okay. So we need to be very specific of identifying that. So that's the types of content that we're going to be doing. So the power of your content, it's got to keep your users engaged. And the secret is, when you're creating something, will they share it? Okay, so I did a really, really out of the box one today. And even when Anthony went on and he had a look at it, and he's like, whoa, I did a shock tactic one today. And my shock tactic one has given me so much mileage today. People interacting with me and engaging with me. So sometimes if you're not getting engagement, we need to look at our strategy, all right? Because users retain 95% of your message when they receive it via a video. 95% is high. Okay, it's very high. All right, it enhances your communication and it enhances your conversion rate. So when you're going on and you're branding yourself with video content, it's so important for us to say, why am I doing this? What is my goal? What is my reasoning behind it? Okay, so let's have a look at a few of the key platforms and their overviews. All right. So the first one, let's have a look at Facebook. Now, Facebook is known for its vast user base. All right. And Facebook is ideal for long form videos and live streaming. Guys, if you want to make it out there and you want to get known as an expert in your field, you need a live stream. You need a live stream. That's so important. All right. And live streaming is another whole thing that you can take snippets of your live streaming and create little videos from them, which is also very nice. It also offers a more sophisticated target market. And also, you can go into paid advertising if you wanted to, if you had the funds for it and you know how to do that. But that's another ballpark altogether. But always remember that Facebook is one of your places where you will be able to create that long-term, what's the word I want? Long-term viewing. All right. So if you haven't created a Facebook page for your brand, I would suggest you create a Facebook brand, a page for your brand, and start posting things that are relevant to your target market. All right. So that's very, very important to do. Now, more people search for stuff on Facebook than they actually do on LinkedIn. We need to remember that. Okay. Then the second one is Instagram. All right. If you haven't used Instagram, it's a fun place. All right. But it's more for stories, which are quick, 7 seconds. All right. 7 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds, quick in, make a statement, back off. All right. Also, there is a video platform there. It's used, but not by many people. All right. So Instagram is perfect for that quick message that you want to get across. Like, for example, one of mine that went absolutely viral with over 3 million views was simply when I said that, dirty delegation. Just all I said is dirty delegation. Like, the art of delegation is not dirty delegation. What is dirty delegation? Boom, viral. 5 seconds. 5 seconds of a video. My other one that took a lot was the one that I started off with here as well, which was things don't end wrong, they start wrong. So do you know where you're starting from? We've all heard Stephen Covey say, begin with the end in mind. Boom, then you shut off. Okay, so Instagram is really good for that. You can either do an Instagram in your own name or you can do it in your brand name. It's entirely up to you how you want to brand Instagram. Then, of course, my favorite, which, believe it or not, is TikTok. Okay. TikTok. Now, this platform is like, again, in your face. It's fast moving, fast tracking. It's engaging content. This is where you would post controversial issues. Okay. So you would make a statement and tell people, what do you think about what I've just said? Okay. Whatever it is. So my one that I did today that was very controversial is I used the F word with a star, with a CK, okay? And I said, you need that money. Boom, gone. It's like running wild today because everybody wants to know, what is it? What is this F money that you can get? All right. So it's fast and short. People think it's for the younger generation, but more and more mature people are starting to use TikTok. TikTok is not all about dancing and singing songs and that kind of thing. All right. Another one of my TikTok videos that went viral to 3.7, close to 4 million views was me actually speaking to the gay community. Went viral. Just sharing my heart and saying, I love you. I love you guys. You're out there. Don't feel alone. Don't, and it was just an emotional, I was sitting in my car and I just spoke my heart to them. And guess what? Viral. Okay, so you've got to be aware of your audience that you're speaking to and what your message is going to be. All right, so if you're using each of these platforms, Facebook, you need to be strategic about. If you are going to be onto Instagram, plan your content. Okay, and make sure your Instagram looks attractive. When somebody clicks on, it must look attractive. Choose a color zone. Don't choose different colors. If you just decide you're going with blue and yellow, then stick with blue and yellow. Then your background must be blue, or your clothing must be blue, and your words must be yellow. Okay, or if it's beige and blue, whatever your colors are, stick to it on Instagram. Don't veer off it. so that when people, because people scroll so quickly, all right, the moment, if they like something, the moment they see your colors, their eyes are going to click on it like this, and they're going to stop and they're going to listen. Okay. And then, of course, another one of my favorites, YouTube. All right. Now, YouTube is actually the second largest search engine in the world. If you're not on YouTube, you're failing yourself. YouTube. So take all your videos you've done previously, all right? Because you can go and download them from wherever they are. And then please don't post more than 3 videos a day on YouTube. Rather be intentional about it. Start a storyline on YouTube and start posting 1 video a day with a nice caption, okay? Post very similar to what you would do on LinkedIn. Go and do it on YouTube, all right? And then build your following up. And then make sure you have your YouTube link on every bit of social media that you've got. The reason you're going to do that is, one, the moment you push your views up to 1,000 subscribers, should I say, and you've got 4,000 hours of viewing that's there of your content, YouTube is going to start paying you for views. So this could be another stream of income that could eventually start coming in. All right. So think about it, and drive your traffic there. All right. Drive your traffic to YouTube. Remind them always to subscribe to you and set the notifications. So the moment you send a new YouTube up, then send it through. With every single one of these platforms, post at the same time every day. Be consistent. Okay, be consistent. All right, and then we can't leave out Percy's favorite. I'm only getting into LinkedIn again because of Percy. I realized, oh my gosh, I better look at these and look at LinkedIn. I've had a LinkedIn account for many, many years, but never used it. All right, very seldom did I actually use it. But it is important for us to look at LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is really for your professional and industry related content. Okay, so make sure that it stays that, and it's very good for business to business. Okay, so that is what it's about. You can do business to business content. It helps connect with professionals. So that is important for us to remember. Now, before I go any further on all of that, are there any questions about what we've just gone through, or are all the platforms nice and clear to you guys? Just give me a thumbs up if they're clear or all good. Can you unmute? Anybody want to unmute? Yes, Pancho.
No, thanks, Michelle. Thank you for the detailed introduction. So I've interacted with people in terms of social media, especially Facebook. So some would say it depends where your clients are. For example, CEOs and managers and decision makers are hardly on Facebook. So someone told me that Facebook is only appropriate or proper for products instead of service. So okay. I'd like your take on that.
I love what you're saying. So this is why I say, remember, when you do Facebook, you've got 2 things you've got to do with Facebook. One, you have your personal page. That's for your family, your friends, and for everybody that you're speaking to. Then you have got your brand page. All right. And your brand page. Now, what's important about the brand page is, yes, I agree with you. Your CEO is not going to go and search for something on there, but your CEO is not going to go and search for anything anyway. It doesn't matter what platform it is. The staff do it. Okay. So you need to talk to the person that you know is going to be doing the research. Because if you are doing your consistency and posting your ads consistency, or whatever, your videos consistency. So what would be your target market, Pancho? If you had to say, what would be your topic, not your target market, your topic. If you had to post, what would you post about?
Okay, leadership and purpose content. Yeah.
Fantastic. So now when you say, so leadership, I get that one. But when you say the word purpose content, what do you mean by purpose content?
No, I mean, I like helping people or guiding them to identify their purpose in life, to tell them that you are not born just to pay bills and exist and everything. So you are born for a
Love it.
specific reason. There's an
Love it.
assignment. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So now the person who's looking for what you're sharing, you've got two audiences there, two different audiences. If a person's looking for something about leadership, you're more than likely going to have your middle management and above. You're not going to have your lower management. Okay. So you would have to have two different pages for these things because you can't mix them. Okay. If you're going to mix your purpose content with leadership, it has to be aligned to leadership. What is your purpose as a leader? Versus how do you find your purpose as a mum? How do you find your purpose as in a teacher? How do you find your purpose? Why are you on earth? You know, what were you designed for? Two different things. Okay, so don't mix them. All right. So that's when you're going to say, okay, now I need to decide, all right, my leadership stuff, perhaps leave that for LinkedIn and take your purpose stuff and go and put that onto YouTube, because those are where the purpose people look for their stuff. And also make a page about living your life purpose and then share your story. Okay. And do that as a page on Facebook. Hope that helped you a bit there.
No, thank you so much. It did.
Awesome. Awesome. Percy.
Michelle, thank you so much. The thing that I want to talk about is YouTube stories, the shorts.
Yes,
I see that becoming very effective in terms of that. Now, the nice thing is, I don't know if people notice, and it's maybe a good thing and a bad thing, is that if you post on, for instance, WhatsApp, you can connect all your social media feeds to that same video and touch all your social media platforms.
Love it.
So that's one of the things that I think we should maybe just address as a topic and get your opinion on it. And the other thing is that a lot of people use this Linktree, yeah, Linktree, instead of going to the YouTube video, or unless you want to be deliberate in terms of that YouTube video. Sometimes what I do is use Linktree, put YouTube first, and then see what all the other social media platforms are. So I just want to mention that personally I use that. Do you think it's an effective mechanism to use Linktree, or do you think it's more direct to say this is the YouTube channel to be more intentional?
No, I'm 100% behind Linktree. I use Linktree as well. And then when you're posting something, make sure that you decided on where your sequence of video of your social media. So if your target market is mostly LinkedIn, then put LinkedIn at the top. If your target market then is Facebook, then put Facebook, and wane it down like that. But my target market right now, where I am right now, is TikTok. So TikTok is first, YouTube is second. Then so it all depends on where you want to focus and where you want to drive and I would use Linktree. I do use Linktree. It's and you can do the paid version as well as the free version, so you can choose. What I like about the paid version of Linktree is you can put nice thumbnails about your content. So it really is. And when you put a nice thumbnail, because remember, visual attracts people first before words. And we become so lazy that we don't want to read. The only time that we actually forced to read is when we put captions in a video and the words come up. Then it forces people to read because people are lazy now.
And one more question, Michelle, this may be relevant for later, but I just want to plant the seed. I've noticed that when you record in TikTok, you get more views than actually you uploading a video into TikTok. So it looks like TikTok is more receptive in terms of users or viewerability when you do the video into TikTok itself and you create the captions in itself. Have you found that yourself or not?
I've definitely found that. So what I do now is I go record in, and this is what I'll cover in, I think, the third session. So I will record in TikTok, and then before I post it, I save it to my phone. I then go to another app and I start doing all my editing in my other app, and then I post it back up again. But TikTok recognizes that as being recorded in them. And also, ladies, with this beautiful, beautiful facial, make us look pretty with eyelashes in TikTok. Okay, so we can use all the features that are there, which is really super cool. All right, super. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let's carry on. So it's important that you, my goodness, sometimes we live in a bubble. I'm married to Doc M and I'm not on YouTube. No, he's not on YouTube. He's not. It's okay. I've been on YouTube for like since about 2015 and he's still not on YouTube. In fact, my one YouTube account went so big that they actually blocked it. Now I'm going to start all over again. But anyway, it is what they do. But we'll talk about why they would block you and those kind of things. But with what we're doing, we're not doing anything that's controversial to their act. Okay. So, but I will cover that just now. Awesome. Yeah, I know, Doc, and you're not on YouTube. I know. He doesn't do what I say. But hey, that's life. Okay, let's carry on. All right, now let's look at the different, there we go. Now let's look at effective video content type. Because this is, so once this is where when by the time I'm finished, you've got homework to do for a week. Okay, you've really got some homework to sit down and do for a week, and I will share with you. So the first type of content that you can post out there, which would be very much what Poncho's doing, so is Joyce, so is actually all of you are doing this a lot, and that's educational videos. So that's all about these videos, remember, solve a problem. So whenever you're posting, whether it's for 7 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 minutes, make sure you solve the problem before you end. Okay. And also when you're recording, which we will cover, you tell them to listen to the end for the solution so that they listen to your whole video. Because when people are scrolling, you're going to find if you go into your analytics, they watch for 7 seconds to maximum 9 or 10 seconds. All right. So if you've got a 1 minute video, they haven't very few. And then you also have a percentage that will tell you how many watched it to the end. Then you will know if your content's effective or not, and if you must repurpose. All right. So educational videos, this is very strong for your brand. If you're going into educational videos, be specific, like we spoke to Poncho just now. Leadership is leadership. Finding your purpose, discovering who you are is something else as well. However, the only time you will mix the two is when you talk about leaders finding their purpose. Then you'll mix the content. Okay. The second one is, listen, guys, we don't do enough of this behind the scenes. This builds authenticity. And we talk about, we want to be open, we want to be authentic, and we want to build culture. This is where you build it, is you do behind the scenes. So right now, what this section that we've done now, when I give you the video, what you need to do is like Poncho, for example, when you get this video, cut the section out where you and I are talking. Okay, cut that section out and send it out as a, hey guys, guess what? I was on this dynamic seminar. We were learning about social media. This is what Michelle and I were discussing. Okay, put it out there because that's behind the scenes. People love behind the scenes. All right. If you're going out for Percy, you're very good at behind the scenes with photography. Okay, so we here, but do it with some videos. 7 seconds. Hey guys, say hello to Joy. I've just been here speaking to her in South Africa, and we had the most amazing breakfast. Joy, give us one value add, but tell her before you ask her that, okay? That you're going to ask her that question. Okay, all right. So behind the scenes, dynamic, always, it's for building the trust, and you'll hear why just now, why we need to build trust. Okay. Okay, then the next one is testimonials and case studies. This showcases success. So don't be scared to showcase stories. So I was just thinking about an example the other day when Percy was in Hong Kong. Just one testimonial, you say to a person, listen, what did you get from this course? Let's just, for 1 minute, I'm going to record, if you don't mind, if you're happy with it, 1 minute of what you got out this course. Okay, guys, anytime that you're in a course environment, whatever it may be, and you just stand and warn them so they can collect their thoughts and then just record with you, just a normal, hey guys, guess what? I'm chatting right now to Doc Ant, and Doc Ant, tell me, you've just done this course on, I don't know, tying your shoelaces. What value did you get from it? And then he's going to say, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do bunny ear tying. You know, I've always done it the other way, that kind of thing. All right. And it then covers educational, it covers behind the scenes, and it does testimonial. All three. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. Then the next one, which is actually very good, but needs to be done strategically. And that's product demonstration. Okay. Now you highlight features and benefits of your products. You're helping potential customers see the value in what you're doing. All right. So again, if you have a specific product, then do something with the product. Let me tell you something. The number one sales that come from Amazon.com are product demonstration videos. That's how Amazon survives. All right. So if you have a product, Joyce, you just did your book launch. Okay. And now I'm speaking to Doc Ant as well. You've just done your book launch. So that would be a product demonstration. What I would do is you could use that book by taking a video of you reading the book or someone else reading the book and say, what are you reading right now? What is your highlight version of what you're reading? Let them read a section out and say, what does that mean to you? All right. And let the person share what that means to you. So you could actually seriously do that. So that's something that just came to me right now. So you see, you get more from this than I even planned. All right. So product demonstrations, books, launches. Hey, if you're selling pens, whatever it might be, do the demonstrations. Okay. And then, of course, there is another way of doing video content I spoke a little bit about this earlier on, and that's live streams, real-time engagement and community building. Very powerful, very, very, very powerful. Now, when you do live stream, if you're going to say, I live stream on TikTok at 6 o'clock every night for 30 minutes. I just talk about my product, I talk about what I do, and I talk about it adding value to individuals. All right. Now you can live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and also TikTok. All right. So you can do it all. And if you are clever, I'm going to try this next week. What I'm going to do next week is I'm going to get 4 phones and I'm going to live stream. I'm going to do it all at the same time. I'm just going to do it all at the same time and see what I get from it. But my average viewing at 6 o'clock in the evening on TikTok, I can get anything from 1,600 people listening to me to 3,000 people listening to me. And I'm not saying much, okay? Because remember, people are scrolling and they come across and they're going to stop and listen to you for 7 seconds. So you can repeat yourself over and over and over again. All right. So just the only time, okay, sorry, with live streaming, this is what I actually wanted to say, is tell people when you're going to live stream. Okay. Advertise it. So if you're going to talk to people about, let's use Poncho, let's use leadership again, let's use customer service, one of Percy's topics, let's use the personality profiling with Doc Ant, then give 7 seconds. Hey guys, I can't wait to see you on Facebook at 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. Do that for 1 week and post that thing 3 times a day. Post it to your morning audience, your lunchtime audience, and your afternoon audience. And even do it 4 times. Do it to your 6 o'clock audience or whatever time you're going on. And tell them for a week. So you post it for a week saying, this is what I'm going to be doing. And that way, and you can say to them, here's the link. Make sure that you're accessing wherever it is that you're going to, whichever platform you've chosen, and then go onto the live stream and then add value. All right. Just add value. Just talk to them. Be relational. Okay, don't be with your, it's that real-time engagement. It's like, hey guys, you know what, I'm starving right now and it's 7 o'clock. I haven't even made dinner yet. What are you guys having for dinner? You know, ladies, it's easy for us to have conversations. And then you can say, right, so I'm going to be talking about discipline today. You know what? I don't know about you, but I'm the person who's like the least disciplined around you. Do you know that I couldn't even be disciplined with cake today? You know, and talk, just connect. If you're wanting to connect to a professional audience, then make sure you're sitting up straight, you're in a professional environment and saying, guys, you know what? I don't know about you. How are you finding and dealing with workplace harassment right now? How are you finding bullying in the workplace? What does it mean to you? And I remember when I was bullied, and share some stories. Be real. Okay. All right. Finding value so far?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So I mentioned this earlier on, and this is your number one. I think we did have, I just want to welcome Sunita. Thanks for joining us. Welcome, welcome. You'll get the recording so you can catch up. Okay. All right. I said this earlier. Okay. Not a problem. We welcome you now. No one's ever late. They're always on time for themselves. It's all good. Okay. Now, remember, I said this earlier on, guys. Creativity and consistency is what's going to put you ahead of the game. So if you're going to put this as big words somewhere, I know it sounds simple, but you've got to be creative. You've got to be consistent. Okay, so if you decide that you're posting at 2 o'clock every day, you post at 2 o'clock every day. If that doesn't work, don't change anything for 1 week. So stay for 1 week, stay 7 days. Then you can look at your analytics on a Monday morning or a Sunday afternoon. Look at your analytics. You'll study where everything is and what's happening with your videos, all right, which we'll talk about. Then you change, and then you decide one thing you're going to change. You don't change your entire video because you want to know, and it could take you 6 weeks before you're going to have the engagement and conversions that you want. It can take you up to that because you change little steps at a time. It's the tortoise that wins the race, not the hare. Okay. All right. So that is the first part of what we're going to be doing. Now we're going to look at, so we've looked at the types of platforms and how important it is for us to recognize the platforms and what we want the platforms for. Now we're going to look at identifying your target audience with that platform so that you can tie the two together. All right. So like I said, you're going to get the video, you're going to get the PowerPoint. So you've got a whole week, because I am going to give you a project to do at the end, but I'll be doing this for a whole week with you. All right. Okay. So understanding your audience, very important to know who your audience is. Now that sounds easy, but it's actually not as easy as you think. Matching your audience to the right social media platform is yet another thing to do. Okay. So I am right now doing digital marketing. I'm focusing on moms that have got spare time, and guess where they are all? They're on TikTok. So for me to go and post what I'm looking for on LinkedIn is not going to work. But with Stacey and I working on women in leadership, where I'm not putting that information on TikTok, I'm doing that on LinkedIn. Okay, you see how you can have different content in different places. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is segment your audience based on shared characteristics. Okay, so you're going to have to do some study with your audience this week. You're going to understand and define their demographic. You're going to explore key features on each of the platforms, and you're going to match your audience to the best platform for your engagement. Okay, so for example, I've just been asked by one of my African pastors' wives to create something online for pastors' wives. So now we've got to do our research on which platform suits pastors' wives. Where are they? Not where we want them, where they are. All right. So your demographic, for example, is your age, gender, income, education. Those are the kind of things that you're going to be looking at. Okay. So you need to process this individually by looking at, and even give your audience a name. All right. So my audience right now is people who are like me, but 5 years younger. Okay. Because I have 5 years of, I was there, but this is where I'm now. And it's taken me a journey of 5 years. If you're here now, where do you want to be in 5 years from now? Okay, so that's my audience. So I've put them all the way down to Michelle 5 years ago. All right. Then also, what is important is the specifics of the country you're focusing in, and right down to your neighborhood. Where do they live? What do they do? What do they do every day? When will they listen to you? Okay. What are their lifestyles? What are their interests? What are their values? If you want engagement, you need to draw up an avatar of what your client looks like so that when you post to them, you're speaking to them. Have you ever listened to a video where you've got off it and thought, oh my word, or even been to church and you thought, oh my word, he spoke to me. This one was for me. Okay, because they knew their audience. When you walk away saying, oh my gosh, that message was for me. Simon Sinek does that well. I mean, he just like knocks you in. Another one who does that so well is John Maxwell. Oh my gosh. It's like he's talking, it's like he's like in front of you talking to you individually. It's because he knows that he knows that he knows exactly the demographic of his people that are in leadership. You see, for him, it's not so much about the age, it's about where they're at in leadership. And that's where John Maxwell speaks. All right. And then you could go deeper, and that's into their behavioral patterns, especially if you're selling a product. All right. If you want to sell something, when would a person want to buy this? What might it be? And then you're going to have to look at purchasing habits and that kind of thing. So that might not be for us, but it is something to consider as well. So we need to put so you got some homework. You're going to work out what is your social media platform, and you're going to work out who is your avatar. It's pointless posting unless you know exactly this. Okay, who is your avatar? Who are you talking to? Poncho, Doc Ant, is it just men? Is it men specifically of a certain age? Is it what are they doing? Is it you 5 years ago, or was it you 10 years ago? Because that's your message.
Brilliant.
Okay. He just said, aha, somebody got an aha. Okay. All right. So now here's a little bit going a little bit deep, analyzing your existing customers, identify common traits. So you can go now to customers that you've already got and say, and analyze them and say, you know, it's like, for example, if you were analyzing your mentor, all right. And if I said to you, write down 5 people you admire in life. Doesn't matter where they are, how are they. It could be Gandhi, it could be Hitler, it could be John Maxwell, it could be Robert Mugabe, it could be Nelson Mandela. I don't know. Just write them down, 5 people. Then I'm going to ask you to write 5 values that you saw in that individual. And then I'm going to say to you, okay, what are the common values that you resonate with in each one of those people? Because those are the values that are inside you. You see, those are the things that are inside you. And then that's your audience. That's who you're going to talk to, because there's more people out there with the same value, same culture as what you have got, and they're just going to know, like, and trust you. Okay. Then here's another one. You can do a conduct market search. You can do you can put surveys out there. You can ask your existing customers what they like, what did they have they watched your videos, whatever it might be, what would they like to hear from you. So you could do a survey and get this information if you wanted to. All right. And then you can make sure that your profile you're creating resonates with the customer that you're trying to draw. So whatever you've put, you need to make sure that they draw to that. Okay. All right, I know this is a lot, but let's have a look at this again. If you wanted to go onto Instagram, you need to make sure that whatever you post is visual and it's a younger audience. You're looking at millennials and Gen Z. There's a few more mature people there, but your baby boomers are not there. If your baby boomers are your client, they're not on Instagram. We think they are, but they're not. All right. Again, the same goes with TikTok. It's primarily your Gen Z. Now, do you know who your Gen Z is? Do you know their age? Have you done your research on what they like, what they don't like, what they're looking for, what they resonate with? One of the things that resonates with the Gen Z, why do you think the Big Bang Theory series flew off the charts with the Gen Zs because of the authenticity that was there, the genuineness, the mess ups, the everything. They related. Is your stuff relating? YouTube is a much broader reach, but you've got to be very planned with YouTube. Put a series on YouTube. Never post a once-off video on YouTube. Put a series on YouTube. And then you say this is part 1 of, and then you tag once they watch part 2, you tag part 1 if they haven't done part 2. Okay, so because you want to get your views up. Okay. Now, if you want your baby boomers, Facebook. Okay, Facebook is your baby boomers, it's your older demographic. They all like, they're the ones that spend a lot of time on Facebook. Also, if your focus is stay-at-home mums, if your focus is on people who like community, Facebook. Okay, if that's what you're looking for. My saying on my Facebook is, you believe, you belong, you become. What do you believe in? Where do you belong? So that you can become, which would go with Poncho's purpose-driven stuff. And then, of course, we've got LinkedIn. We know that's your professional audience. Okay. So again, plug your people in. I know I'm repeating myself, but plug your people in. Okay. Cool. So again, we're sticking with this. Content preference, the type of video that they enjoy. So you've got to work that out. We've covered this already. Your engagement style, we've covered this already. It's your interaction methods. Is it fun-loving? Is it informative? Is it behind the scenes? Is it educational? Now, your device will also matter what you use. So if you're only using your laptop, you might have a problem with some of the platforms, but you can download the apps and make sure that you put them on there. All right. And then also look at the time spent. Do your research on who spends what amount of time on what platform, because you could think your audience is on this, only to find they're not. They're sitting in another platform. Okay, so you can just type in Google, I'm looking for where do men ages 40 to 60 do their research on the topic of leadership. Put that in, and then Google's going to share it with you. All right, so do your homework. Okay, so effective audience segmentation enhances your targeting, and correct platform choice increases your engagement and your effectiveness. All right, so that's what's important. Okay, now let me just check. Are you all with me? Are you all happy? Are we saying, okay, is this what I really want to do? Is this enough for me? Am I done? Yes, Joyce.
Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add something on what you said in regards to streaming on so many platforms at the same time. I've been using StreamYard for some time now. Amazing, but it has to be a paid version if you want to stream on YouTube and Facebook and also LinkedIn at the same time. It's amazing. Just make sure you do the timings like you said, and definitely do your research on where you'd be doing better, especially the timings, so that it really matters. And then when you're live, it's on all the platforms. So I just wanted to add that. And yeah, thank you so much. It's been amazing stuff here. Yeah.
Thank you for adding that. Did everybody get the platform that Joyce is using? Must she type it in?
StreamYard. Yeah.
You got it, StreamYard. Great. And it is awesome. Yes, it is a paid platform. So if you want to go the free version, you're going to have to do each one individually. But I like the LinkedIn if you or the collective that you can do. All right. Yes, Poncho. Thanks, Joyce, for sharing. I really appreciate it.
No, Michelle, once again, thank you so much. So as you are busy, training and educating us, I realized that most of my platforms, I have industry colleagues rather than clients or decision makers, and I think most of us are guilty of that. Like it's
exactly
we have this community of business friends, industry friends, and yes, we can have them, but I think it's more imperative if we have more clients than, you know, industry colleagues. So I'm thinking about my social media platforms now and say, you know what, I need an overhaul. It's more, yeah, it's more of industry colleagues than, you know, clients. And yeah, I think most of us are guilty of that. Yeah.
Awesome. That's excellent value for money. So what I would suggest before you revamp your social media platforms, go to your industry colleagues, draft up a survey and ask them, what is it that they like listening to you from you? And if you had to have a product, what would they buy from you? All right, if you had to have a product, because they've been with you for a while, so they know you, they know, like, and trust you. You've solved that. Now you're going to have to go in and speak to someone else. So do a survey. Yes, Percy.
Michelle, one of the things that really helped me as an individual, and I sent some documents to Dr. Ann today, is a verbal business card. What that does, it helps you niche to your market to say, listen, this is how I actually advocate myself, and this is what I really want.
Love it.
There we go. There's the verbal business card. So I can send that out to the team and
Yes.
my market. But I have a very important question for you, if you allow me, just to see how you got over your confidence. Because a lot of people, I might have a chipped tooth.
Yes.
Or I might have a squint eye or something. How do I
I love it. I love it. So one of the things you need to do is you've got to make that decision. Am I going to go live or am I going to do faceless marketing? Okay. So if you do faceless marketing, which we will speak about when we do making of our videos, it's very important to say, okay, what is the brand that I'm putting out there? What is it? So I've done a bit of Facebook faceless marketing on TikTok, and it actually works very well. But your audience who's introverted are the ones that are going to connect with it. So if you have audiences that are extrovert, they're not likely to connect with it. So you're going to have to put yourself out there. So if you squint, maybe you need to go and buy a mask, and you're going to put your mask on, and you're going to create a brand. And if you have got a chip on your tooth, then put your camera at an angle. So if your chip is at the bottom, you must have your camera down so they see your top lip, and other way up if it's the other way around. There we go.
Okay. I was being a bit naughty. I was gunning for someone and I was hoping they would respond, but there was silence.
He's keeping very quiet there, very quiet on the other side with his chip too. Awesome. Okay, so long as we're still getting value, can I carry on? We've been going almost for an hour. Are you happy to continue? Okay, I'm just going to check. Now, my husband said, oh my gosh, I thought you were done. Tell him I'm only just starting. All right. So what's now important for you to be able to do your homework is to identify your target markets. And then what we're going to just quickly go through is now, I also want you to find out what is your story that you're going to share with these people, because you need to tie this all together. Okay, so if I stop you, yes, you're seeing that. Okay, so it's crafting your story, because effective storytelling is going to be the compelling draw of your thing. So you need to say, how am I going to package this? For who am I packaging it? And where am I going to package it? All right. So I'm just going to give you a few storytelling elements, and it's all about being, when you're looking at your audience, because your storytelling is going to match who you're talking to. You need to understand that you need to have reliability. So when you have reliability, what are you reflecting of your audience? So when you're now thinking about who your audience is, you need to be thinking about what I'm going to say to them. All right. So irrespective of what it is. Plus, and Joy is going to love this one, authenticity. All right. It's all about being genuine and building trust. So important. And then you've got to ask yourself the question, because now when you're looking at your audience, you're solving a problem for them. So how are you going to emotionally connect? Okay. How are you emotionally going to connect? So please think about this when you're thinking about your audience. Okay. It's not just ramming it out there. It's thinking about what they're going to say. Okay. And then how can I say what I want to say simply? We've all heard the saying, keep it simple, stupid. Okay, the KISS principle, keep it simple. Keep it simple. When we complicate a message, all right, another one of my sayings is always, confusion will always lead to inactivity. So if anybody in the workplace is not productive, it's because they don't know what to do. So confusion will always lead to inactivity. So people will not click on your video. They will not, because they're confused about what's going on. All right. So if you don't have anybody liking, sharing, commenting, then you've confused your people. Okay. And then remember, this one is actually quite interesting, and that is conflict and resolution. Is that sometimes you need to challenge your people to create some kind of stirring up that emotion in them. All right. So please remember, when you're doing this, it's so important to do that. Okay. So when you're looking at your customer, you need to bear these things in mind, because if we don't, we're going to miss the message again. All right. So another few more minutes and then we're done. So how do you craft this message? So when you're looking at your customer and you're looking at your avatar and you're trying to decide who you're talking to, you need to understand their needs and their desires. Okay, it's not your needs and your desires, it's theirs. Hence, Pancho, do the survey and find out what their need is, so that you can go duplicate that, but then you're going to talk to a different customer. But you're going to talk about what is your friends already connecting with. Okay. All right. Then you need to define, what action should your audience take? So what do you want them to do? Okay. And this will be for everything that you do. You're going to ask them to do something. Now, if you're just doing educational, you might just say, hey, please like and share this with somebody who might find it valuable. All right. But that's what you want them to do. If you don't want them to do that, you just say, hey, you know what? It was wonderful to meet you. Pass a comment below if you can add value, or if you differ with what I'm saying. All right. But you need to know what to ask your customer, because each one is different. A millennial will never comment on your posts. So if your target market's a millennial, you'll never ask a millennial to write a comment. Never, because they're not going to do it. They're just stubborn. And the moment you ask them to do something, they're just not going to freaking do it. Okay, that's millennials for you. All right. So if you have millennials as your target market and you want them to do something, you need to know why would they put a comment in there? Okay, because you've challenged them. And then they don't like what you said, and then they'll put a comment. All right. Millennials like to say things that are nasty. Be aware of that. If that's your target market, millennials like to have a go at you. So if they have a go at you, thank them for it, because they actually took the time to type. Okay. All right. So now, and then of course, again, please don't forget the medium. All right. What have you chosen? So I know I've repeated myself. It is important for us to go through all of this, but I just wanted to make sure that we understood that it is all about that. And now when we develop our stuff in another video, we are going to talk about, this is what I just wanted to go through here. I mentioned this earlier on, and I just wanted to quickly share it with you. And that is everything you do, everything you're doing now, when you're going to do your homework, you need to say, how can I get, and who is going to know, like, and trust me? Dale Carnegie, we all know Dale Carnegie, says people do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's what you're doing when you do social media. only building up that. You're building your brand and your influence with people who know, like, and trust. And that is what it looks like. You're going to say you'll have influence over somebody who knows who you are. Then, do they like you? And then, are you an expert in your area? That's your message. Always remember this. So when you're doing your homework, so your homework this weekend is to this whole week, is to sit down and say, okay, fine, who is my avatar? Who do I want to talk to? You can start with, okay, what you are an expert in. Okay, so start with that. This is what I'm an expert in. This is what message I've got to say. Then you go and say, okay, who is going to resonate with me when I talk about this topic? Okay. Once you've done that, you're then going to say, okay, how do I get them to know me? How am I going to get them to know me? And how am I going to get them to know that I'm an expert in this area? And what am I going to do? So your homework is build up your avatar. Percy's going to send some really good information as well. On the PowerPoint, you're going to get look at the age. You've got to look at the age, demographics, all of that information about your customer, because the more you know about your customer. Let me give you an example. If your customer happens to be a parent, okay, who's married and got children, but they feel like they are a solo parent. So they just feel they're doing everything on their own because the other partner, male or female, it doesn't matter, is working so much overtime. And we all remember this with our parents. I mean, I remember my dad saying, I can't come on, take you to this on the weekend because I have to work to put food on the table. All right. Now, if that's your audience, that's the message you've got to say. Hey, guys, do you remember how did you feel when your folks said to you, they can't be with you right now because they have to go and work and mom is now so tired and exhausted, she just lies on the TV. How did you feel as a child? Because if that's how you felt, are you doing the same to your children? You see, you've touched emotion, you know who your audience is, and you know what you're talking about. Okay, so that's how specific you need to be with your audience. Otherwise, you're just posting on social media. Anybody want to add, ask a question? What did you get from this, Doc Ann? Tell me what you got out of this tonight.
Sound's not working, so I'm going to have to come there.
Okay, his sound's not working, so we're going to just do this. Sorry, we're in the same room. Okay, right.
Okay, sorry. I don't know why my sound's not working, but certainly for me, the aha was, here I'm sitting as a husband to Michelle, and here I hear strategies that she's aware of that I'm not deploying. Now, that to me is counterproductive. I honestly had to come to a realization, I'm not on YouTube, and yet that's a one pearl she dropped and said, the most effective form and the second most important platform in the world is YouTube. And I went, I'm not on YouTube. So that dropped in my spirit. The other one was in terms of how she segmented in terms of defining that avatar. Of course, one of my challenges is, I always say, jack of all trades, master of most. That's one of my problems, which means I need to break it down into little compartments and decide when I'm going to speak to that compartment of people. So that was very, very valuable. And I can tell you, I got far more than I ever would have imagined. Thank you so much. Thanks, Percy. I really appreciate you for doing this.
Awesome. Thank you for adding value to us, Doc Ann. All right. Who would like to know? Poncho, I can see you. You're next up on the screen. And then I want Sunita. Okay, Poncho, let's do Sunita. She hasn't spoken yet. Hello, Sunita. Welcome. What did you get so far from us?
I mean, I totally apologize for coming in late. There's been some crazy stuff happening here. However, having said that, I mean, I've been reading up quite a bit on how we get our footprint out there, and kind of get your visibility out there. However, I think what really struck me was one is choose the platform. Two is the audience that you're looking at, because I have the Insta page, but I have no traction over there. And obviously that's because I've got a very mixed bundle over there. And I loved what Poncho said, that, you know, it's you have your industry friends. So sometimes you're almost aware and you feel that, oh, you know what, my people know all of this. So what am I going to add value to that? So it kind of almost makes me want to not do any videos. And I'll be very honest. Every time I've started to want to do videos, I've kind of taken a step back thinking, ugh, I might look stupid, or, you know, I might look, you know, what have I got to share that people don't already know? But yes, defining the objective is very important, and being a topic expert. So choosing a topic is really, 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 really crucial. And I think that's one of my biggest takeaways on topic expert, who will resonate and how will they know me. So
Exactly.
that's a beautiful takeaway for me. Thank you so much, Dr. M.
It's a pleasure. And what I am going to say, Sonita, is that I do believe that you need to do more videos, because you've got a kind voice, you've got a gentle voice, okay? And you have a voice that many, many mature women will resonate with. So there could be your target market, okay? So I would go ahead and do it. And your body language on the camera is authentic. Love it. So you should be doing a lot more, a lot more. Awesome. Thanks, Anita. Right, Joyce, did you want to put your hand up? What did you get out of today, Joyce? You did mention early on.
Oh, I mentioned earlier, but listening to Sonita, I'm like, I want to challenge her. I want to dare her. I want to dare you to join me next week for the Double Dare to Glow.
Wonderful.
Yes, yes, I'm daring you to join me so that you get out there. Because I've known Sonita and I know how amazing she is when it comes to speaking to people. So I want to see you get out there. But overall, I want to say thank you. It's been amazing. I've written so many notes. I'm a writer. I love writing. The power of storytelling is something that I'm going to work on to do better in regards to how I put out myself and improve the Dare to Glow brand. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much. It was really it was really productive.
Awesome. And Joyce, what I'm going to say is, when you are interacting online and you're talking to people, don't do this with your hands going forward. It creates insecurity and doubt. Always. And when you are talking, and especially if you've got women, make sure that you show both hands, because women trust women who have both hands showing all the time. Okay. So gentlemen, if some of your market is women, make sure they see both your hands, because that's trust. Under the table is distrust. Okay, so remember that. So awesome, Joyce. And I look forward to Sonita joining you. That's wonderful. Okay, so shall we do Poncho and then Joy?
No, Michelle, once again, thank you. Thank you, Percy. Thank you, colleagues. So yeah, for me, the biggest takeaway was work on your social media pages. Like when I look at my social media pages, they are horrendous. It's like I just put them there for me to be visible. But now I have to get to work. I have to hit the ground running. And number two, I identify a platform. So far I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram. So Facebook, for personal reasons, as I was in varsity a few years back, I deactivated it. X, I'm out there because of Black Twitter, so it was traumatizing there. So yeah, those two platforms, I don't know. I just don't resonate with those two.
Then
but
stay away
I
from
guess
them. Stay away from them for now.
Yeah, so for me, LinkedIn and Instagram and YouTube, I have to create a YouTube channel as well. TikTok, for me, I was addicted, so I'm out. I ran away there. So yeah. But thank you for the.
But with TikTok, because of your mature voice, I think in TikTok, when you start TikTok again and we brand you correctly on TikTok, you're going to draw. There's a lot of young Black men that need mentors, and I believe you can draw them on TikTok. But your message has to be right. They're looking for fathers. They're looking for someone they can trust. And when you speak with authority and you speak with trust. So I'm going to suggest that you actually consider, but we need to brand you correctly there. All right. So it's all about what's your tagline, what you're going to say on there, and then what's your message. So you talk about leadership. The youth don't want to hear about leadership anymore. I'm just going to warn you, they're sick and tired of it because everybody tells them they're going to be leaders. All right. And none of them are because they don't know how to become leaders. But what they want is they want fathering. They want to be led from a dad's heart. Okay. Not being told what to do. Because remember, millennials don't want to be told what to do. Okay. The Gen Zs don't want to be told what to do. They want to resonate with a heart. Okay. So think of something like that and go on TikTok. I guarantee you're going to get a following. I know it. I just know it. I just know it. Awesome. Joy.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you all hear me? I'm wearing
Yes. Hello.
earphones.
We
Am I
can hear you.
audible?
Loud
Okay,
and clear.
great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. Casey, thank you for this opportunity. For me, geez, I've learned quite a lot. I've got a YouTube channel called Conversations with Joy Kapu. And tonight I've learned so many lessons, because I only lost my social media virginity 2022. So I'm still quite new, in this platform. And I realized that some of the things that I did, when I started my YouTube channel and Instagram, is that I didn't really segment the target market, the demographic, the audience, who do I want to cater to, and my videos were too long. And, also I started with the big, hoorah, of hiring people coming to take me videos. I invited people to my home and we had conversations and the editing as well. So it was just so costly, as well.
Yeah.
So I paused it because I wanted to find like a cost-effective way of doing things and also being relevant,
Yes.
because I got bored at some point. So you mentioned something important, that never post, once off, video on YouTube. So I should have done like a series, like maybe less than 10 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that, and just and to keep it going. So yeah, I've learned quite a lot. Yeah.
Awesome. That's my Yorkie. He's this big, but he's got a voice that big. Sorry. Joy, I'm going to challenge you because you already have a YouTube channel, and Percy alluded to this earlier on, is your YouTube shorts. Do yourself a favor, because of your authority that you portray. You portray an authority figure. So when a person listens to you, you don't actually have to build up the trust. The trust is coming from the vibe that you're giving off straight away. So that's ticked in a box. All right. The no and the like are the two that you're going to work on. So I challenge you to, while you're going through this and you're going through your target audience, you have got a wealth of information. Put them into one-liners. Put them into one-liners. One-liners people love. Okay. Like the few that I've quoted as we've been doing here, that things don't end wrong, but they start wrong. What does that mean to you? Boom. Post that on YouTube. I'm telling you, they're going to, because then you're going to get the comments, all right, which is going to push your views out. And also the people are going to love these one-liners, words of wisdom that are coming from you. Okay, so you use words of wisdom without even realizing you were using them. So next time you talk, you need to listen to what you're saying and grab your pen and paper and quickly write down, gosh, that just came from me, because the Holy Spirit's going to give you all this information. So do that and then start popping it back on as a YouTube short. And that's going to push your following up. Awesome. Thanks, Joy. Lovely. Okay, Percy, thank you again. And if you can add some value, we would love to have to listen.
I can't add value. I think I just need to go back to the drawing board a bit, because sometimes your scope becomes so wide and you forget about your niche, and that could really contaminate the retention rates that you have in your videos and the watch rate in terms of it. So I started off with YouTube, and that was a really successful platform for me. I mean, some of my views were fantastic. So what you helped me do is remind me to maybe re-calendarize and then decide, what does that look like? What do I really want to talk to people over the next 2 months? And then maybe prepare something and work in a marketing calendar
Yes.
in terms of which ones I want to do. So it reminded me of going back to that. So you really helped me with that, Michelle. So great session. I really loved it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you know what? Anything in life is always about going back to basics, isn't it? Okay. What I am going to suggest, if we don't mind, on our groups, let's put in, if you've got a link tree, pop your link tree in so we can actually all go and like and follow each other, for one. And secondly, I just want to have a look at your profiles. Not so much on LinkedIn. That's not my expertise. That's Percy's expertise. So he can look at all of your LinkedIns. But I want to have a look at your Instagrams and because then I can just say, tweak this, take this out. What's your message you're saying as well? So I just will look at them. I'm not going to comment this week until you tell me what you've decided your target audience is, and then we will make sure we factor in all of that. Yes, Pancho.
So Michelle, if you're like what we're doing now, we're working in learning and development. Is it a good idea to privatize your accounts?
If you want to privatize your account, then it's for your family and friends. If you do privatize it, then those that are looking for you, people are lazy. Always remember, people are lazy. So if they come across a private account and they click it to follow, and then they've got to wait permission to get access, they move on from you. Okay. So if you're wanting to build your following, and if you want to build that app, okay, which we'll talk about how you can do it on the different platforms, then people need to get access to what you're saying to them. Okay, they need to have easy access.
Oh yeah, because my Instagram is privatized.
Well, it depends on what you were doing. What messages were you giving there? The only time I'm going to tell you to privatize an Instagram account is when you have over 2 million followers.
All right, no, I'll work on my settings.
So I'm dying to say something, but I can't because I don't know how the audience is going to take it. It's time to get rid of that OnlyFans account, mate.
Exactly. Yeah. Did you notice I didn't put OnlyFans there? I thought I'm going to stay away from OnlyFans.
Ponzo, that's it. Sorry, I had to say it, honestly.
Oh my God.
That's one, Fem. That's one.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for being on. And I look forward to next week, Tuesday. Take care.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so
bye.
much. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah.